Part 6 is on college. So again, my advice is, I call it terrible, right, advice. But this is where, if people haven't disagreed with me already, they'll start to disagree now. So when you're in high school and you say, hey, everybody expects you to go to college. We have this expectation of going to college. I know in certain cases that's not true, but for the most part, everybody's talking about college. It's college, 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 right? And so, why do we have college? I guess it's to prepare people for the business world, or to learn skills, or be able to, I say put demonstrate abilities down there, because if you can make it through college, then, college is not easy typically. Typically it requires some effort and some determination and some stick-with-itness, for 4 or 5 years, or even 6 years nowadays. Of course, some people say, hey, you're trying to weed out the smart versus the dumb, or whatever it is. And I don't know if it's really that, but think about why you have college, and who's getting rich off colleges, or do you really need college? And the answer is, yeah, for most people, you will make more money at some point in your life on an annual basis if you go to college, statistically. And typically the smarter people go to college, or make it through college at least. I don't know about whether nowadays if the smartest people go to college and then drop out, because that's actually dumber than not going to college, in my opinion. But at least you tried, right? Or at least you thought you were smart enough. Again, that's smart versus dumb again. So be it. But they don't teach you everything in college, that's for sure. And even this series that I'm doing on high school seniors here, and rarely do they teach you that. They'll teach you some basic finance or whatever, but I thought they should have learned that in high school. But you will learn some stuff in college. You'll learn quite a bit, and socially you'll learn quite a bit too. But the question is, can you be successful without college? And obviously that's a yes. Many people are, but I don't know if statistically if you're more successful. I myself am a college graduate. I went to a top 50 engineering school, and I was fortunate enough that my parents footed a large part of that bill. So I'm not anti-college by any means, and I'm just thinking about your future and where we are now in the day and age now. It's sometimes if you learn a trade nowadays or whatever, you would almost be better off, or certainly you wouldn't come out with a huge debt load that you have to spend the next 10 years repaying before you finally hit 40 and start to break even or do better than what if you put your efforts in a different way. So think about that. I'm not poo-pooing it. But one of the things I really have to harp upon is not, whether your parents expect you to go or whatever it is. I mean, you need to go do some analysis on your own. Find out, what it costs to go to school, because even if you're not paying for it, your parents are going to pay for it, and maybe it's just their wish for you to go there. But I don't know if kids still follow their parents' wishes or what they do, but often you're going to borrow that money through student loans, and so you need to take a look at how much you're going to need to borrow to get through it, and realizing that college is sort of an all or nothing. I mean, maybe there was a time in the world where, hey, I had 2 years of college and that was worth more than not, completing college, because, you had the candidates you're looking for, but and so many people nowadays, so it's pretty much all or nothing. You're going to have to finish, right? I mean, and so you're going to look at a 4 or 5 or 6 year, and you're going to have to finish. Otherwise, man, you're going to borrow some money, and you're going to be no college degree, and you're going to be in debt. And it's really risky. So make sure that you think you can finish what you're doing, that the school you're going to is, cheap enough to be viable. It's got good value, I'll call it. And that the people who come out in the profession that you're looking at, look towards majors or whatever that are going to be able to pay that money back. Otherwise, you're going to have a tough life, just the way it is. School loans often can't be eliminated through bankruptcy, and more people, at least currently, that's the situation. And so they're going to start to, they'll never be able to get rid of that. If you borrow $50,000, you can't get rid of it, and they'll eventually start hitting up your income when you start working for 15%. They won't really kill you, but I mean, it's going to be always hanging over, and it takes forever to get rid of that kind of stuff. So I don't know if that's a real smart thing to do. So just look at it and make sure you can get through it. If your parents guarantee it, then so be it. But always when you're taking your own personal loans, take a real hard look at that. And I also encourage people, I know I went to a major college, and local colleges are no stigma with that. I mean, there is some stigma, I guess I'll take that back. But you've always been able to transfer, even when I was in college, that you'd be able to transfer from the local college to a major college. But you can be pretty successful with just local colleges, as long as you get a good one, and that's really hard to distinguish. Most major colleges are good, most local colleges are also good, but it's like there is a huge percentage that don't make it through, or even make it through and don't have some of the skills that major colleges. I don't know why that is, just what it is. I'm sure 1,000 people can argue with me. And in the last 10 years, we've had a real upspring of these pay colleges. And really look at those numbers, because I've seen numbers that 80% of the people don't graduate, and the ones I'm kind of talking about, and they're either partial night school, partial whatever they are, or even if they're not night school, they're off the grid. Sometimes they're accredited, sometimes they're not. I don't worry about accreditation or not. I don't know how much employers look or don't look. It's always more impressive to have a major college than a local college, but that's part of your hiring process. Once you get hired on, I don't know if college does make a difference for certain positions in big corporations, but for the most part, your skill set is going to determine where you go in life. So don't overpay for college, and don't get saddled with loans that you can't pay back. Bad idea for the country, bad idea for you. Think about it. Look it up. Research it.